So, hello and welcome to 12 Noon Live. India's preparation for the Sri Lanka Test begins. They are currently in the NCC ground at in Colombo, and of course, they will play the 3 day warm up match from the 7th onwards, and from there the action will move to Galle. Vaibhav is present there at the venue, witnessing the practice session of the Indian team. Whereas Bharat also joins us. I'll straight away go to Vaibhav. Vaibhav, there's a lot of doubt around Sai Sudharsan being available for the first test. It's still touch and go, and it could be there could be a scenario where Sai Sudharsan uh, is not available for the first test, the gold test, and in that case, Devdutt Padikkal becomes the hot favorite to take up that number 3 spot. What are your observation? Have you seen Devdutt Padikkal bat as of now? Before we move on to different things from the practice session.
Yeah, Shubhan, first I'll start with the weather. I think the weather has been very nice and pleasant. It's sunny, which is a rarity in Colombo because the moment we have arrived in Colombo from Kandy, there was no signs of sun till yesterday. But today, India's first practice session and sun came out of nowhere. So that's first thing is that they are being allowed. Otherwise, there is an indoor net facilities also there at the NCC, which is not there even at the SCC. So indoor nets
Hmm.
are also prepared just in case if the rain arrives. And the facility is nice here. There are 3 practice wickets here. And talking about Devdutt Padikkal, he was the second batter to hit the nets. And he didn't take any throwdowns. He started immediately against spinners. So
Hmm.
4 spinners started bowling him. First, Ravindra Jadeja, Manav Sutar, Saransh Jain and Shivang Kumar. So these first started bowling him. A couple of deliveries in between from Vipraj Nigam, but the net bowlers, the likes of Harsh Dubey, Vipraj Nigam and Tanush Kotia, and they didn't bowl much. It's the only
Hmm.
Shivang Kumar who's been bowling non-stop. I think it's close to now 1 hour. He's been the only bowler who's been bowling non-stop. So yeah, Devdutt Padikkal, the first session of his against spin, he was beaten a lot of times by Saransh Jain outside edge. He was trying to play a lot of spin but couldn't connect on many occasions. He looked very scratchy against spinners. The only confident shot that he played was against Manav Sutar, that lofted straight dive he played, and one also full toss. That of was a full toss of that was bowled by Shivang Kumar. Apart from that, he didn't inspire a lot of confidence with the way he batted against spin. Then, while I'm talking, he's currently facing the throwdowns against the pace. He's looking good, but against spin, still from what I have seen, he doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. Even Gautam Gambhir, the head coach, was having a close eye on how he was going about his business against spin.
Right, right. Bharat has just disappeared. Anyway, apart from Devdutt Padikkal, Vaibhav, I mean, Sai was in top form against Sri Lanka, India in the couple of unofficial tests that were played. Recently scored 3 centuries there, and the one occasion which he missed, he was retired due to the toe injury. Okay, Bharat also joins us. Bharat, with Sai scoring 3 centuries out of the 4 innings and now being doubtful for the gold test. Do you think if Sai Sudarshan misses out completely, then it will come as a huge blow, or are you confident enough on Devdutt Padikkal and his chances at number 3?
Yeah, to start with, the internet is a little bit choppy today, so sorry for that.
No problem.
Anyway, coming to that particular point, see, Sai Sudarshan is there is a doubt over him even playing the first test, not just a warm up game. That's what I heard. It could be wrong. Obviously, he might go on to play the first test. See, the Sai Sudarshan when he's playing at his best, is I think an underrated player of spin. I'm not saying he's a great player of spin compared to some of the predecessors who have played for India, but I think people think too much about him playing back. It's not exactly a bad sign that if you're using the depth of the crease and playing back, just that he has to be a little bit careful in the DRS era because spinners are bowling quicker and quicker through the air. If you keep playing back, then there's a good chance against spinners who ball quicker through the air, you'll get out LBW. Because in this DRS era, every spinner is looking to hit the front pad. So that's point one. So Sai Sudarshan actually scored some runs when he played for India A. If you notice against Sri Lanka A in Sri Lanka, so he at least understands the conditions. I know that couple of tracks that he played in, flat. It is works well. If you notice, a lot of Indian, sorry, lot of or most of the Indian players have not played in Galle, test matches in Galle. Like I don't think I can't remember any single one who's really gone and played a test match in Galle even. If even if Jasprit Bumrah was around with the Indian setup, even then in 2017 he had not played his test debut. So that was
Bharat,
just the
your
last
audio
time
is
India
very
played in Sri
choppy.
Lanka.
Your
So at least you
audio
understand
is
the
very
conditions.
choppy.
Yeah, one second. One second, I will get back.
Yeah, Bharat, the internet is giving a bit of an issue. Vaibhav, apart from Sai and Devdutt, a lot of talks around the new fielding coach Subhadeep Ghosh. Uh, what did you witness something extra done by the fielding coach? Any other preparation style that he has adapted so far in his first practice session?
After the huddle talk, he had a long conversation with Gautam Gambhir, and once that conversation was done, he was straight away went to the players and asked them to stand in the slip cordon. As you can see in the slip cordon, there is a change. If you Shwanda, you were there in England. Yashasvi used to stand in the gully region. Now you can see Dhruv Jurel standing in the gully. That was the first fielding catching drill that was done. So Rishabh Pant, first slip, if you'll see, Shubman Gill is there. Second slip, KL Rahul. Then at third slip, Yashasvi is there. So there is a change of position for Yashasvi Jaiswal, who used to stand up at the gully region. Now Dhruv Jurel is there. So Dhruv Jurel was there, and there was a closing practice fielding session. Rishabh Pant was batting, and there were batters around him: silly mid wicket, short gully, the leg gully. These were the positions. Rishabh Pant was giving in them the catches, and the fielders who were around Devdutt Padikkal, Dhruv Jurel, these batters were around the Rishabh Pant and taking those catches. And apart from that, he had a one long session with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill standing at first slip for the spinners. So he was having a lot of chat in between while that session. So that indicates that when there will be spinners operating, obviously we see Indian captains generally take the first slip position. I think that will be the same thing. That was the only notable point. He had a long chat with Shubman Gill. Apart from that, usual fielding drills, Yashasvi Jaiswal's position is a change. Yes. Apart from that, no special drills as of now.
Right. And what about the Pacers? Akib Nabi has been drafted in his maiden call up in the series. Even Saransh Jain, it's his maiden test call up. What about the debutants? How are they doing at the net so far?
I'll first start with Saransh because the moment Devdutt arrived, first it was KL Rahul who hit the nets, but it was against the Pacers, local Pacers and the likes of Prasidh and Siraj. Then, if you look at Devdutt, when Devdutt arrived, it was Saransh, Manav, Jadeja, and Shivam Kumar bowling. Saransh bowled beautifully. He beat, as I mentioned earlier as well, he was getting the drift, he was getting the turn as well, and he's impressed a lot. I mean, of all the spinners who bowled in the nets, I think Saransh looked the most impressive spinner. He was getting a lot of turn as well, which even Jadeja and Manav Sudhar couldn't extract from the same wicket. So Saransh was the it was a standout for me from the all the spinners. And the best part was he was not just getting the ball to turn away from the left-handers; he was getting the ball to dart in as well when Dhruv Jurel and others were batting, the right-handers. So I think Saransh looked pretty impressive. When it comes to Akib Nabi and Gurnur Brar had to wait 40 minutes to start their bowling. It was first Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj who started bowling to KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal, the two openers. And then once they were done, then only Gurnur Brar and Akib Nabi they started bowling. And as I'm talking, Akib Nabi is just marking his run up with the old ball because he has taken the old ball. Rishabh Pant is batting against Akib Nabi. Rishabh Pant asked him to take the old ball, and he just showed him right now that I'm taking the old ball. So Rishabh is practicing against the old ball. So far, Nabi has looked down on pace. If you ask me, obviously, when you see a Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, and Gurnur Bral bowl at full tilt, then obviously when you compare their pace with Akib Nabi is obviously on the lower side. But yes, Akib Nabi so far has looked good only. No special thing. he hasn't troubled the batters much. Obviously, these batters are not being troubled by the pace, and there's not much movement from the surface as well. So yes, if you ask about both the bowlers, I think Saransh has been the most impressive of the new lot.
Right, right. Bharat, hopefully you are still getting stuck a bit, but am I audible to you?
Can you hear now? Can you hear now? Because I'm trying to talk louder. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
no.
Your audio is not an issue, but it's getting stuck a bit.
Okay. Then I will leave.
Yeah, that's Devashishda also joins us from Colombo from the NCC ground. Devashishda, what are your observation, early observation from the practice session? It's a must-win series for India.
Yeah, Shubhayan, means it's been almost 3 hours now. Means the team arrived around 10 and it's almost 12:15. And it's been a quite an intense practice session. Both me and Vaibhav were there. And obviously there were three nets for the Indian team as we reported. So in one of the nets, all the spinners were there. Ravindra Jadeja and Manav Sutar were there along with the other four
Mm,
spinners. But what was interesting was Devdutt Padikkal the batting along with Shubman Gill. So there is
mm,
a clear indication that if suppose Sai Sudharsan misses out, as has
mm,
been the heading, if Sai Sudharsan misses out, he in fact did not travel with the team yesterday when we were
yeah,
both at the team hotel and the airport. So if he misses out, then the team management is getting Devdutt Padikkal in ready. Means obviously he might then just go into bat at number three. Obviously,
mm,
in one of the nets, it's actually KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal opening the proceedings.
yeah,
They batted in one of the nets against two fast bowlers, Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj. So it is expected until and unless things otherwise, I think both of these fast bowlers will start. Obviously, there is a Gurnur Brar as well. I don't see Akib Nabi getting an opportunity, at least for the first test match in golf, because the conditions there might just favor the spinners.
mm,
Obviously. So the captain looked in great shape. To Shubman Gill, especially both against the fast bowlers and the spinners, and in one and also as I said that Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant, both of them batted
mm.
as well. So I think number seven is another position which can
Mm.
be discussed. And Dhruv Jurel might just get in, Shubhayan. But talking about the conditions,
Yeah,
actually,
Dhruv
I
Jurel
am just
has been part of the 11 for a while now.
you can say
He's
Devashish
actually
the
I
hasn't
first
touched
did
up.
the
not
ball.
no no is it okay? It just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is fine.
right behind me is the square. Means
Huh.
obviously a lot of watering on the surface just minutes back. In fact, the groundsmen are still watering the square. But there's a tinge of green. There's a tinge of green, but I don't know. But
Okay.
Vaibhav was me were discussing that it might just be a belter, good for batting wicket. But will it be an ideal practice match for the Indian team? That needs to be seen. But obviously, it's always good when you have your batters on tour to get amongst runs, I mean, before you head into a big series. Shubhai.
Absolutely, but at the same time, ball wicket will assist the spinners a bit more, and it is highly unlikely that you will find a tinge of green there at goal. Webber, if you have to look at to Shubman Gill also a big series for him. Not specifically as a batter, but more importantly as a captain, he needs to win this series. So, what are your observation around Shubman Gill? How has he been dealing with all the players and of course his batting as well at the nets?
I think Shubman Gill looked the best of the all the batters who have batted so far. I think only once I saw him getting beaten by was Manav Sutar. That too was a turning delivery away from him. That was the only time. Apart from that, against spinners, he was very proactive, using his feet, playing the aerial shots as well. He played a lot of aerial shots as well during his game, during his that session against spinners, and even against fast bowlers, he looked really good. So Shubman Gill, the batter, I think it doesn't feel like he hasn't played red ball cricket for months now. But that's the quality of Shubman Gill. But as you rightly said, the question will be more on Shubman Gill, the captain, because if for the first time it will be his first series a test series in Sri Lanka. So additional responsibility. He's the captain. He's the main batter as well. So there will be a lot of pressure on him. He knows that the significance of this series. How important is this series when it comes to the WTC points table? So I think, but if you look at the preparations, I think Shubman Gill, being the workhorse he's going about his business. He's still batting. Just while we are speaking here, he is having a long conversation with Sitanshu Kotak and Gautam Gambhir. So conversations are going on. Shubman Gill was also spotted talking a lot with KL Rahul. Those two were batting in different nets, but whenever they were getting opportunities, they were sharing notes. They were talking a lot in between. So yeah, that's good to see. I think Shubman, from a batting perspective, I don't think he will be challenged a lot, given Sri Lanka's bowling struggle we have seen in Caribbean as well. But yes, when it comes to the leadership, I think Shubman will face a big challenge. He has already led India, has been leading India for 1 year, but I think when things are on the line, like the WTC is on the line, I think then we'll have to see how Shubman Gill, the captain and the batter, responds.
Right, right. Devashida, you also shared a photo, I think, of Shubman Gill and Gautam Gambhir having a conversation. What a lot of chatter around Gautam Gambhir as well, and people are saying a lot of things are riding on the result of this series, this particular series. How Indian cricket will move forward. A lot will depend on the results of the Sri Lanka series. Your observation on the body language of Gautam Gambhir and that discussion between him and Shubman. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, absolutely, Shubhan. The head coach will be under some sort of pressure, obviously. And when we've observed him when he arrived at the Bandar Naik International Airport yesterday, and he was having a chat with Adrian Laru. Today, also, when he just turned up here at the Non-District Cricket Club, he first went to the curators and inquired about the pitches and so because this is the ground where the 3-day warm-up match will also be held in a couple of days' time. So I think he was making a note, and then that interaction with Shubman Gill, because this is a very important series in the context of WTC cycle, because India are now placed at fifth spot,
Right.
and they just don't want this series to lose. Means obviously the priority will be to ensure, so because two important series coming up, one against New Zealand in New Zealand, and then that all important Border Gavaskar Trophy in India. So I think for and who better than Shubman Gill and Gautam Gambhir to know? And there has been lot of discussion between the captain and the head coach. Obviously, Moni Mokel, Shitangshu Kotak were also involved in that discussion. So there were a few moments in the practice session. I will be sharing the pics with you as well, where Shubman was seen having a long discussion when the spinners were bowling. Obviously, some of the shots Gautam Gambhir were showing him actually a few technical aspects, and that could be very crucial, because in subcontinent conditions against the likes of Prabhat Jayasuriya and other spinners, at Sri Lankan spinners, it will be very crucial.
Devashish, there is
He
internet.
is your main. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, it is fine.
Yeah, I think the onus definitely will be on Shubman Gill, Shubhayan. There are other in batters as well, the likes of KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, but I think the onus has to be on Shubman Gill. He has to set the tone for the series.
Absolutely, absolutely. A leader has to lead from the front, and this is the time where Shubman Gill takes up that responsibility and not only score runs but inspires others to score runs as well. Webber, any observation on Rishabh Pant? Same chatter around Rishabh Pant vice captaincy not there. His weirdly his position in the Test 11 is also being questioned by many. What are your observation on Rishabh Pant, who is perhaps going to be the game breaker for India in this series?
Yeah, definitely. I think Rishabh Pant will have a big role in this series, because if you look at his record in subcontinent conditions in India, obviously not you will not see a lot of hundreds, but there are a lot of 90s. He has got out to on 90s. I don't think in this century any other current crop of Indian batter has got out more on 90s than Rishabh Pant. So Rishabh Pant understands these conditions, and he knows. And again, spin in red ball cricket, you just have to separate Rishabh Pant, the white ball player, and Rishabh Pant, the red ball player. Against red ball, against spinners in these conditions, Rishabh Pant is a different giant, and he has proved himself a lot of times before. But interest and from outside, obviously there is a pressure that Rishabh Pant, after losing the vice captaincy, will he lose his spot if he fails in one or two series? That's a question. But if you look at the ground, he's been the most vocal, more usual Rishabh Pant that you see on the in the ground as well during the matches, being very vocal. Even now, he was having a lot of fun with first with Captain Shubman Gill while there was a football session, and then with Devdutt Padikkal and Dhruv Jurel. In fact, he said he asked Shivan Kumar how much of weight you gained in the last couple of months. So that tells you something about Rishabh Pant. He's in his zone. He does. There's no pressure that seems to be there on him. And good thing is that he was having a lot of conversations with Gautam Gambhir as well. The moment he was done after playing spin, he went straight to Gautam Gambhir. Gautam Gambhir had separate conversations because there were two batters batting against spin at that time. First Rishabh Pant and then Dhruv Jurel. So first Rishabh Pant, once he was done, he went to Gautam Gambhir. Gautam Gambhir had a conversation with him, and then Dhruv Jurel followed the same thing. He went to Gautam Gambhir and had a chat. So I think yes, if you talk about Rishabh Pant, he's been batting really well. Against spin, he looked solid, even against throwdowns. Now he's just completed his session against the fast bowling duo of Akib Nabi and Gurnur Brar, and that session was different because he's the only batter so far who has faced the old ball. So far, everybody has faced the new balls. He specifically asked Akib Nabi and Gurnur Brar to bowl with the old ball. So yeah, I think Rishabh Pant's batting session is done. Only half an hour left for the practice. I think Rishabh Pant is all done for the day. He started with the spin, then faced throwdowns, and at the last he faced the pacers Gurnur Brar and Akib Nabi.
Yes, only half an hour left for the practice session, so I'll let you guys go to
One
click
But
some
interesting
if I
thing,
final.
may,
one interesting thing,
if I may
Shubhanda,
add
before
Yes,
we
yes,
something, if
yes,
I
yes,
may,
yes, please. Yes, Devachinder.
Vaibhav was mentioning about the old ball. I was just finished an interview with Hashan Tilakaratne, a former Sri Lankan cricketer. Obviously, he
Mhm.
was a pillar in that Sri Lankan batting in the 90s. So he
Yes.
was telling that don't just go with the goal conditions which might favor the spinners. There you can just see some sort of reverse swing happening as well. So
Mhm.
that might be very crucial. I asked him about Jasprit Bumrah. He said that that's going to be a huge blow. But he still reckons that India will definitely be the favorite. But he categorically said, don't just go with the assumption that it will be a spin-friendly track. There might be some offers for reverse swing as well. And we have seen, means Bharat has earlier mentioned in one of the chats, I think in the group, that Mitch Stark and few
Anderson,
fast
Dale
bowlers.
stayed all average below
Yes,
20
yes, yes.
in
Yes,
ball.
actually, exactly, exactly. So I think that might just Siraj will be very crucial with that old ball Siraj and Prasidh Krishna. So so the conditions might just favor the reverse swing as well
Mhm.
because of the
And
wind. Because
especially
of the
with
wind, and it is
uh,
next to the sea as well.
and with that with some rain around also, I think don't it would be foolish to rule out the Pacers from the game. So they are
Shubhanda,
going to definitely play a part there.
there's a certain Gurnur Brar who, when last played in Galle, he took a 10 for in that
Yes, yes.
A game against Sri Lanka. So I think if you look at Galle, last time Australia came to Sri Lanka to play that two-match test series, it was flat. Even the last time India played a test match in Galle, I remember Shikhar Dhawan scoring 190, even Cheteshwar Pujara scoring big runs. So Galle, if
Yes.
you look at the A series, the recent match that was played in July between India and Sri Lanka, I think in that also Sahan Arachige from Sri Lanka scored 100. Here,
Yes.
Sai Sudarshan and Dhruv Jurel, they scored hundreds, and then Gurnur Bar also picked a 10 for. So I think it was a good surface, offered something for everybody. And I don't think, means the way Galle has played, Test cricket has been played in Galle in the last 1 year, whatever matches you have seen, batters have scored runs. Batter have Teams have scored 400 plus easily. So I don't think it will be more like a square turner right from the day one. You will see a
Uh,
ball turning. So I don't think that will happen. I think batters will enjoy batting at Galle is what my observation is. If you look at just Galle's conditions in the last 1 year, if it stays the same, then I think batters will have their batters will enjoy a lot. The one interesting point before we close the show, that Kuldeep Yadav didn't bowl a single ball, but now as we are talking, he's there out batting in the nets. So that's one another interesting thing, that apart from the net bowlers who are here, Tanush Kotian, Harsh Dubey, and Shivang
Shivang
Kumar.
Kumar.
Yeah, Shivang Kumar. So these out of these three bowlers, only Shivang bowled because Kuldeep was not there. Kuldeep didn't bowl a single ball, and now he's batting. I don't know why he didn't bowl, and that we'll have to see. Yeah, morning if tomorrow they will come, then we'll have to see how much bowling Kuldeep is doing. But interestingly, he didn't bowl, and he's now batting right now.
Right, right, right. So yeah, yeah. Even from some of the players from India A squad did tell me that the pitch was on the flatter side during the Sri Lanka A series. So yeah, let's see what goal brings us when the team reaches there on 11th. But before that, there's an important practice match that will be played from Friday onwards. Tomorrow, the Indian team will train once again. But yeah, wait for the report from Devashish and Vaibhav. They will give you the detailed breakdown of what happened at the India Nets today. So stay tuned to Rev Sports. And thank you so much for joining for now. Enjoy the day, Devashita and Weber. We'll catch you guys at 5 p.m. during our next live. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shubhan. Thank you.